Oddity fine. I got a big economic ox, a gin and tonic on the rocks, where angels fear to tread. I say, choose your booze, let's hit the red eye. Think of young Diana Durbin and how she sung on rum and bourbon, or enhance your luncheon hour with a planter's punch and a whiskey sour. If you feel like a wreck, try a horse's neck or a sherry with a cherry in the new finer size. If you don't name your poison, I'll have to get the boys in. The spirit of adventure opens one's eyes.
Menogen, are we prepared?
Of course we are! In fact, it is foolish of us to even ask that, but more or less we're asking you to be prepared, not us. But semantics!
We digress.
Anyway, this story is for Blazewings Thunder, the winner of the first ever Wake Up See This What Do fan art contest, who did an awesome drawing of Fluttershy wielding a pair of 10-inch knives in her wings. It makes sense in context.
Yep.
So, as part of that contest, we are going to do a dramatic reading of his choice. And the story he chose is one of his all-time favorites, or so he says, Beauty and Her Spike.
By
FlimFlamBros. No, seriously, that's who this is by. This is by the FlimFlam Brothers. Anyway, if you couldn't already tell, this is a Beauty and the Beast parody.
Yes.
With ponies.
Beauty and Her Spike, the greatest disparity ever told.
Yeah. Also, this is kind of a milestone for us in some way because this is the first story we've ever read that will feature singing.
Yes, so you get to hear us sing. Be afraid, Mental Gen. Be very afraid.
Oh yeah, and since I'm the voice of Spike, and yes, Spike does sing, you know what you're getting.
Yes.
But anyway, enough beating on the bush. Let's move right along.
Chapter 1. A Rose for My Love. Celestia's sun rose high over Ponyville, as it seemed to do on most days. The Pegasi had done a great job clearing the skies, and a cloud of blemish marred it. The birds chirped and sang their cheery tunes. A squirrel scurried up a tree with a mouthful of nuts to store for winter, as the snowstorms were soon to come, and most of the animals were getting ready for hibernation. But there was one creature that was waking up, and as the light of the sun peeked through the window of the Ponyville library, a little purple dragon rubbed his eyes. The drake gave a big yawn as he turned in his sleep. Slowly sat up, still groggy with morning fatigue. He gave another big yawn as he stretched out his arms, arching his back as he did so. Giving his head a few shakes, he looked over to Twilight's bed. The bed was empty. The unicorn had already gotten up, probably downstairs studying or something. As Spike slowly walked out of his bed, he caught a glance out the window.
Ah, it sure is a beautiful day,
he said quietly to himself as he walked towards the window, sticking his head out to soak in all the sun. He observed the animals and the quiet town come to life, the ponies going over their daily business. Little fillies and colts skipped and pranced towards school, where their teacher happily greeted his students. In the center of town, the many stands were setting up, getting ready for the daily market. It seemed like an average day in Ponyville, but today was a very special day for a certain dragon.
Today is the day!
Sighed Spike as he gazed out the window, as he slumped his head onto his claws. In the distance, he could see Carousel Boutique off in the distance. It was by far the most beautiful building in town. Debatable. And it was also home to the prettiest mare in Ponyville.
Also
Probably
debatable.
Even Canterlot.
Mm-hmm. Also debatable.
Yep.
Today is the day!
He hummed to himself slowly, slipping into something a little more.
And so it begins. It's a wonderful day, says I. There's not a single cloud in the sky. Oh my god, I'm really bad at this.
Keep going.
And today will be great, 'cause today is the day. It's a wonderful day, says I.
Interlude. The dragon turned around, quickly but carefully scurried down the wooden steps of the library and into the main living area. From there, he could smell the delicious scent of hay, bacon, and fried ribbies.
How do you fry gems? Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to ask.
His favorite breakfast. He willingly followed the enticing aromas of the sizzling bacon, almost floating to the smell of the scent. He opened the door to be greeted by Twilight Sparkle, his official, unofficial, boss, caretaker, and big sister. Unicorn was nose deep in a book while she tended to breakfast with a simple levitation spell.
Good morning, Twilight.
Piped Spike happily, taking a seat next to the mare.
Oh, good morning, Spike. Did you have a good sleep?
Asked Twilight sincerely, breaking away from her book for a second to greet the little dragon.
The best!
He said happily.
But who wouldn't be happy today? Today is going to be the greatest day ever!
His stomach grumbled.
Hey, Twi, when's breakfast gonna be done?
The mare rolled her eyes as she levitated the pan of food towards Spike, dumping the contents of the pan onto the dragon's plate.
Eat up?
She giggled.
Thanks!
Said the little drake, staring starry-eyed at the food. Without wasting another moment, the dragon dug into his breakfast, not taking manners into mind.
This is great, Twilight!
Oh, sorry, I did the wrong.
This is great, Twilight! Spike, don't talk with your mouth open.
Grumbled the unicorn, piece of stray food flinging onto her cheek.
You're going to get dragon drool on my book!
That's the only thing you're concerned about?
Yeah.
Oh well. Sorry, Twilight.
Sighed Spike, licking his mouth clean of the leftover food.
What are you reading, anyways?
This new romance novel I ordered from Canterlot.
The purple mare smiled.
It's called The Blindness of Her Aching Heart. That's a reference to something, and I know it is, but I cannot place it right now.
It's really interesting. It has dragons and sword fights and a prince in disguise.
She clutched the book to her chest and let out a dreamy sigh.
I wish I could meet some pony as great as the prince in this book.
You and Rarity.
Spike scrunched his face up as he made gagging sounds.
Sounds girly. I'm out of here. Later, Twilight!
Called the dragon as he threw his dirty plate into the sink and rushed out the door.
Girly and sappy. Blah! That's not for me.
He grumbled, quickly forming a smile.
Romance, on the other hoof. Well... It's a beautiful day indeed. Birds are singing in all the trees. There's a cat and mouse. Wow.
Just
Wow. There's a cat and a mouse making love in a house.
Give me a moment, Metalgen.
It's like, it's a wonderful day, says I. What?
Spike turned around to see a magenta mare with a deep red mane. Barry Punch's face was frozen in a state of shock, disbelief, and confusion. Spike nervously giggled.
Sorry, I needed a rhyme.
The mare just turned around and continued walking where she was going before she had been shocked.
She's probably so drunk she's gonna forget it in just a few minutes anyway.
Yep.
Now then, where was I? Oh yeah.
Okay, need a bit of water.
It's a glorious day, you see, 'cause I'll finally tell Rarity.
Haven't you told her like 6 times by this point?
Well, he's never actually said it out loud. Mostly hinted at it.
Well, he almost said it when they were falling to their death in the... What was the name of that episode where he got freaking huge?
Secret of my excess.
Yeah, he almost told her in that one.
Yep. Continue.
Alright.
When I gaze at her face, it makes my heart ache. My palms get all sweaty. My heartbeat's not steady. But I don't care.
This kills your voice faster than you think.
But I don't care because I love that mare. A date there will be. I'm sure she'll agree.
No, she won't.
And it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, says I.
He fell onto his knees, spreading his arms and panting heavily. He turned around, witnessing a few ponies that had gotten caught up in the chorus, as there were 4 mares still holding the last I note. He walked away from the crazy ponies and skipped through the town.
You know, when random musicals happen, you just get used to it.
Yep.
Now, if I'm going to ask Rarity out on a date, I'm going to need a flower.
Said Spike, looking at the stalls of the market, searching until he found what he was looking for. The Flower Sisters flower stand. At the moment, it was Rose.
Hello again, one of our favorite OCs, but not OCs, background ponies.
Praise be all that is Rose.
Yeah, we never expected to see her here.
Tending the stall.
Hey, Rose!
The amber mane pony turned from her flowers to see an adorable purple dragon.
Oh, hello there, Spike. Is there anything that I can help you?
Is there anything I can help with you with?
Semantics,
Oh, well,
Is there anything I can help you with?
There is!
explained the dragon excitedly.
I need a flower. A beautiful one. In fact, the most beautiful flower you have, please.
this is the kind of thing that usually leads to curses, but, oh well, we'll go for it.
Yep.
Besides, Rose is a nice pony.
Yep.
Woo!
Cooed the earth pony.
Is it for your special sun pony?
Spike shook his head.
You mean nodded.
You bet! It's for the most beautiful pony in all Ponyville.
Spike, I'm flattered, but you don't have to do that.
Smiled Rose, batting her eyelashes. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
What? No, it's not for you. Not that you're not pretty. It's just that, well, what I mean is...
Unlike Google Stalk, you don't make me rise early each morning. Spike wiped some sweat off his brow.
Oh, no. I'm screwed, aren't I?
Yeah, you kind of walked right into that one.
Yep.
It's like,
The mare laughed.
Relax, I'm just teasing you. I know who this is for.
She smiled, reaching into the bushel of roses, picking out the reddest and healthiest rose in the batch.
who in Ponyville doesn't know that Spike loves Rarity?
Yeah, it's kind of like a public secret.
Mm-hmm.
Here, on the house, all things considering.
Really? Thanks, Rose.
The dragon happily cheered, taking the rose in hand.
I'm sure she'll love it.
He quickly took off, running towards his final destination, the Carousel Boutique.
This is it. I can't believe I'm actually going to do this.
He thought. He stepped up to the door, puffing his chest and flexing all his muscle. He knocked.
All right, Spike. Time to make your dreams come true.
The door slowly creaked open.
She's opening the door. Oh, goodness, she's opening the door.
The door finally opened and revealed her, the most beautiful mare that he had ever seen, ever since he saw her all that time ago. Those 12 months ago.
Semantics.
Yes.
How much time has actually passed since... you know what? Forget it.
Rarity was the picture of beauty. Her perfect violet mane with its bouncing curls that bobbed seductively every time she swayed her head. Her flawlessly kept coat gleamed like fresh fallen snow, adorned with enticing diamonds.
Good metaphors.
Her face, that caring, beautiful face, and those gorgeous, gorgeous blue eyes shine like blue stars in the night. Everything about her made Spike's legs feel like jelly.
Well, if it isn't my little Spikey Wikey! Oh, come on, you knew that phrase was bound to show up in a story like this.
Charmed Rarity.
Now to what do I owe the pleasure of having Ponyville's cutest dragon come and visit me?
Hi, Rarity.
Stammered the baby dragon. All prior confidence had completely vanished.
As is the case.
I was wondering.
His voice trailed off into an inaudible whisper.
Darling, you'll have to speak up a little.
Said Rarity, turning her head.
You were wondering what, dear?
I was wondering if you...
His heart was racing. Maybe this wasn't a good idea at all.
We could go on forever about why this isn't a good idea, but oh well, we're gonna read this.
I was wondering if you...
If I would do what, dear?
You know.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wait, nudge, nudge. Asked Rarity innocently.
you don't have to be so tongue-tied around me. Yes, he does. You can tell me anything. You know that. Well, if we've learned anything from beating the heat, he kind of can.
Yep.
Well, anything?
Like where I hid those bodies last week?
Actually, considering he's a dragon, he could probably make it so that there's only dust left.
Yep.
And Equestria Forensics probably doesn't have the ability to identify dust, so...
Semantics.
Yeah. But yeah, we're getting on topic.
The mayor put a hoof on the dragon's shoulder.
Anything, dear.
Spike took a deep breath. This was it. He was going to tell her everything. Baby Dragon held out the rose that he had gotten earlier.
Rarity, I really like you.
Well, I like you too.
Rarity said, completely oblivious to what Spike had actually meant.
Well, this was going to be the given reaction. How could I not like such a little cutie pie?
She asked, pinching the dragon's cheek.
No, I mean, I like you. This is the part where Rarity's soul snaps like a Twix bar.
Rarity's smile dropped.
Oh!
She said nervously, turning around so Spike couldn't see her frustration.
I think I have some orders to attend to. Big winter lineup.
Spike, good advice. Stop while you're ahead.
Yes, but since this is Spike, he's not going to take that advice and instead say, I've liked you since the first time I saw you.
Spike said, letting it all out.
Sometimes you're all that I can think of.
That's really sweet, dear.
The now sweating mare said, trying to hide her distress behind some red fabric.
But I really have some work I need to catch up with.
Well, if you have any time after, do you think...
He held up the rose.
And now, moment of truth.
Would you maybe like to go on a date sometime?
He gritted his teeth in a smile as he waited for her response. But the unicorn said nothing.
Well, of course she wouldn't.
And every passing moment that she said nothing quickly ate away at Spike's hopes.
Spike?
The mare finally sighed, dropping the fabric.
I really am flattered that you have, such strong feelings for me, and you are definitely one of the kindest and sweetest dragons I know. Isn't he the only dragon you know?
Yeah,
Oh well.
And...
asked Spike, building up his hopes. Unicorn looked down at the ground.
And I'm afraid that I'll have to decline.
She bit her lips nervously as she awaited the dragon's response. But he didn't. He just stood there, completely stunned. Sadness and rejection was clear on his face, as a single tear formed at the bottom of his eye.
Decline?
He stuttered.
But why?
It's complicated, dear. Hi, I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. Why don't you have a seat over there?
Exactly, she said, straining her voice.
You are cute, and you're, dragonish charms, and you are most helpful.
She sighed. This wasn't easy for her to say.
And if you were a pony, I would have said yes in a heartbeat. No, you wouldn't have.
But you didn't!
The small dragon cried.
You didn't because I'm a dragon? A stupid, ugly dragon?
Whatever.
Yep,
Spike, I'm appalled!
she gasped.
I never said that! You are not ugly, and I'm sure that there are plenty of dragonesses.
Name one.
You know, they gotta introduce more dragons in the show.
Yep.
You know, aside from Spike, the only consistent male character is Big Macintosh.
Yep.
Given that he only says 2 words, that's kind of saying something.
Yep.
Anyway, where was I? There are plenty of dragonesses that would love to go out with you.
But I'm not in love with the dragoness!
Bawled the dragon.
I'm in love with you!
Why?
Semantics.
I'm sorry, dear.
Sighed the pony, bowing her head down.
But the answer is no.
Spike couldn't believe it. The mare of his dreams had rejected him, all because he was a dragon.
Actually, that's not the only reason.
Yes.
Alright, but moving on.
You know what they do to ponies like her in prison? Not pretty. An ugly, stupid dragon that thought he could actually be together with a pony. He couldn't take it. With a heavy heart and the rose still clutched in his claw, he turned around and ran out of the boutique,
Was he ever in it to begin with?
leaving nothing in his wake but a trail of watery tears and misery. Edited by Bunsen and Nutworthy.
And that concludes
Chapter
1. You know, Spike, there is an easy fix for this. All you gotta do is travel around with the doctor for a certain number of years, and he'll just... Actually, better idea. Have the doctor meet you in the future, and then take you back in time to when Rarity was pretty, and then everything should be fine.
Meanwhile,
But considering by that time you will be freaking huge, you know what, by that time you'll probably understand this is not meant to...
meanwhile,
Yes.
special deal. Special bonus. We are reading the first 2 chapters.
Yeah.
Chapter 2. Let's make a deal, dragon. A quick word from the author. This is not a Spike turns into a stallion story. For the love of Celestia, Luna, Faust, and Conquest.
Conquest?
Please trust me on this. Now, continue reading.
Conquest?
Yep.
Interesting little addition, but... Oh well.
Yep.
Okay. Shortly afterwards...
The little dragon was in tears. He had just had his heart crushed by the mare he had admired for so very long.
You know, I was going to say some words in rebuttal, but yeah, that was having his heart crushed.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid! Stupid! Stupid!
Yelled Spike in his head as he ran away from the boutique.
You should have seen this coming!
Really, you shouldn't. Really, you should have.
Why would a mare like Rarity want to be with a dragon? Especially a dragon like you, with your stupid scales, spines, and claws?
Yeah?
You have more in common with Discord!
Yeah?
Actually, you do.
And every pony hates him!
He ran blindly, sprinting past the ponies in town. The odd mare or stallion gave Spike a concerned or confused look, but none pursued him. They just went on with their daily business as Spike continued to run.
If you were a pony, I would have said yes in a heartbeat.
Those were her words!
He thought to himself.
If I wasn't a dragon...
Mickey, are you pondering what I'm pondering?
Maybe, Daedalus, but where are we going to get 2 zombies at this hour?
He started to ponder.
If I wasn't a dragon...
Hi, my name's Risen Flag.
Let's make a deal.
Wrong one.
Sorry.
If I wasn't a dragon, that's it! It's all so simple!
No.
Rarity said I was adorable, but I just need to be a stallion!
He
No.
happily shouted.
No.
Keep going.
So that's what I'll do!
The dragon, with a newfound faith in his heart, quickly made his way to the treehouse.
Twilight! Twilight!
He shouted, kicking the door. He saw the unicorn was sitting at her desk, her nose still deep in the book from that morning.
What is it, Spike?
She asked, putting a bookmark in her page.
You seem really riled up. Twilight! You remember how you were trying to turn that potato into a flower pot?
Why?
Did Twilight master alchemy? Oh well.
Yeah.
Groaned the unicorn.
And the potato ended up exploding. Oh, so you fail at alchemy. It's like,
How are you feeling? 'Cause I'm a potato. Oh good, my slow clap module made it into this thing. Continuing.
and the potato ended up exploding. Sorry, I just had to repeat that.
Oh, right. That was a good dinner.
Smiled Spike, licking his lips at the memory.
So, do you think that you would be able...
You could.
Do you think that you could do that for me, with me?
Turn you into a potato?
How are you doing? 'Cause I'm a potato.
Wow, same joke twice in a minute. We're on a roll
Anyway.
here.
What? No!
exhaled the dragon.
I need you to turn me into a stallion!
This is never gonna work.
Say what?
Excuse me?
Asked Twilight.
Why in Equestria would you want to do that?
You've lived with him since you hatched him.
Yep.
You should know.
Yep.
It's like,
So Rarity can go on a date with me?
oh no.
Sighed Spike. Twilight.
Spike, what happened? I asked her out on a date,
He said gloomily.
and she said no because I was a dragon.
And you think that if you were a stallion, she would go out with you?
Well, it makes sense.
Hi, I'm Chris Handsome. You know what? I'm not gonna make that joke again.
Continue.
I don't think, Twilight.
Clearly, exclaimed the dragon.
I know! She told me so herself!
You weren't listening.
Nope.
So what do you say? I'm sure it'll go better than the potato.
No.
Guts. Guts everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Unicorn took a deep breath, letting out a sad groan.
Listen, even if I could do that spell without you turning into mashed potatoes, I still wouldn't do it. For obvious reasons.
But why not?
Whined Spike.
Because you're perfect the way you are, Spike. You don't need to go changing yourself just so some pony will like you better, even if that pony's Rarity.
But I love her.
Whimpered Spike, taking his seat on the floor and curling up into a ball.
I really do, Twilight.
And I'm sure she knows. But turning yourself into a pony isn't going to change anything.
Said the unicorn, putting a hoof under the dragon's little shoulder.
Tell you what, I'll go talk to Rarity about this and how you're feeling. Maybe she can help me figure out what's going on.
Twilight levitated her saddlebag towards her, slipped it on, and headed out the door.
I'll be back soon. Please try and forget about it. Yeah, like that's gonna happen.
Yep.
Please try and forget about it, please.
She left, leaving the dragon in a small puddle of his own tears.
How can I forget about it?
Like I just said.
She means everything to me.
Yep. She left, leaving the dragon. Wait.
You said that already. Right here.
He got up from the ground, wiping his nose.
Well, Twilight won't help me. Then I'll just have to find some pony else.
He proclaimed.
But who?
He leapt out the front door, turning to the everfree forest. Maybe he didn't need a unicorn to help him out. Maybe he needed a wise zebra's brew.
That's an even stupider idea.
The dragon-
Actually, you know what? That's not a stupider idea because Sakura clearly knows more about what she's doing than Twilight.
Yep.
And that's saying something.
The dragon stepped into the tree line of the forest. He could feel the temperature drop as he entered the shade of the many trees. The ever-free forest was always a scary place, an overgrown mess of unkempt woods, filled with nasty plants and wildlife, waiting to poison you or gobble you whole. He had to be careful to stay on the trail and not drift into the unpredictable woods.
I feel the need to make a Lost Woods from Legend of Zelda reference, but I cannot think of one. Moving right along.
I'm sure Sakura will be able to help me out.
Yeah, last time she tried that was with Apple Bloom and the Heart's Desire. Look how that turned out.
Yep, said Spike to himself.
She must have a potion or plant that could turn me into a stallion.
He continued walking down the path. It kept getting colder and colder, and the light of the autumn sun was fading.
I wonder if I get to choose what kind of pony I could be. I guess this would be cool, but I hear that earth ponies are super strong.
The air started to get thicker, a thin blanket of fog cutting off visibility.
Rarity is a unicorn. Maybe she would like me to be a unicorn too. Why didn't she say what she preferred?
I don't think she'd go around telling that.
Nope.
Nick, does she know how much stress this is causing me? Hey, where am I?
Spike finally awakened from his monologue to realize he was in the middle of a spookier part of the forest. The sun was replaced with gray blurriness, thick fog subduing all lines of sight. All that he was able to see was creepiness of the trees and their spooky faces.
Giggle at the ghosties! Shut up, Pinky! This is not the time!
Keep going,
Oh.
But where am I?
he stuttered, looking around nervously.
This isn't the path to Sakura's.
Wouldn't you and Twilight know the path to Zakora is like the back of your hands already?
Oh, yeah.
But when is this? Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to bother asking when this takes place. We're probably making too many references to ahead of it anyway.
Yep.
Okay.
What was that?
There was the shuffling in the trees and bushes, the rattling of leaves as something stalked the little dragon.
You spelled stalked wrong.
Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Half a dozen yellow eyes opened up in the darkness, followed by the 3 sets of shiny white teeth. The 3 timber wolves emerged from the woods, glaring at the tasty-looking dragon.
Now all we need is Applejack to come and save him, and then we'll have an episode. A very bad episode.
Yep,
Hey there, guys!
stuttered Spike nervously.
Lovely weather we're having!
You're a dragon. You breathe fire. They're made of wood. Do the math.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The wolves started to close in on him.
Stay back! I'm a dragon! If you come close, I'll...
Oh, good. You're doing the math.
Yep. He timidly heaved a breath.
I'll breathe fire on you!
He spat out his green flames as the highly flammable timber wolves. The wolves flinched as they prepared for the fire impact. The small embers that Spike had managed to spit out fell helplessly to the ground.
You know, we really need to work on getting Spike to actually breathe fire.
Not even hot enough to burn the grass. The wolves didn't know that. With lightning-fast haste, the dragon spun around and bolted in the opposite direction of the wolves.
Not good, not good, not good, not so good! So not good!
Panted the dragon as he rushed through the forest.
Gotta get away!
Gotta get away.
Where am I anyways?
Run away, run away, run away from the little Frenchies. Run away, run away. He heard the sound of barking and growling behind him, the snarls of the timber wolves. Sorry, Mendon, lost my place. Snarls of the timber wolves getting louder and louder as they chased after the purple drake.
They just ran away after watching him breathe fire.
Yep.
Faster, Spike, faster! Faster, Tom, run!
He looked behind him, still keeping his pace. The 3 wolves were gaining on him fast.
Slam! Russell, what the fuck?
Inside joke from an old forum I used to go to.
Uh,
And some of you people
Spike-
probably know who I am now.
Spike
But
had blindly run into something. Something hard and made of metal. Not that kind.
whatever.
More like iron. Which was odd, considering that they were in the middle of a free forest. He shook his head and looked at the unwittingly coiled with... He shook his head and looked at what he had unwittingly collided with. A steel gate. A tall, rusty pair of barred gates in the middle of the forest. Spike wasn't about to argue with what was there, what they were doing there. He scurried to his feet, slipped into the gates, pushing them closed on the other side.
If you have a steel gate, why do you leave it open?
The wolves on the other side scratched angrily at the bars and howled at the lost prey as they backed away and started to sink back into the dark of the forest.
That's right, you better run!
Shuttered Spike through the safety of the bars. He turned around to see what exactly required a gate in the middle of the ever-free.
You know, I retract what I said. Nobody in Ponyville probably locks their doors.
Yep.
It's that kind of town.
Meanwhile, back at the plot,
Okay. Knock, knock! Hello!
as Twilight, she tapped her hoof on the door of the Carousel Boutique,
Rarity, are you home? Just a second, darling.
hummed the white unicorn. Twilight could hear the sound of hoofsteps running down the stairs. Door swung open as the fashionista presented herself.
Hello, Twilight. What a lovely surprise. Is there anything I can do for you? Rarity, we need to talk.
Said Twilight bluntly.
Oh,
Responded Rarity nervously.
about what, dear? It's a Twilight's here. Figure it out.
Do the math.
About Spike. What on earth did you say to him?
The Lavender Mare asked.
Spike comes home after coming back from here, and he wants me to turn him into a potato.
How are you doing? 'Cause I'm a potato.
A potato?
Twilight shook her head.
I mean pony!
He wants me to turn him into a pony
as apparently you told him you wouldn't go out with him because he was a dragon.
She growled, her face scrunched up in a frown.
Why would you tell him that? You know how impressionable that he can be?
You know, he kind of is.
Oh, balls.
Oh, dear.
Worried Rarity, biting her bottom lip.
I didn't expect him to take it that bad. Hi, I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Continue,
Alright.
What did you do?
groaned the purple mare.
Well, you see, dear, I really did try to be gentle with him.
Said Rarity, trying to escape with the fiery glare of a friend.
He was awfully sweet and charming, but then again, he always is. He even gave me a rose.
She looked around for the flower, but couldn't seem to find it.
Oh, I guess he must have taken it. Regardless, it was quite a delight to see him, as it is with all my friends. So of course, I invited him into...
Get on with it!
Yes, get on with it!
Wait, when did she invite him into the boutique? You know what, forget it.
Earlier. Continue,
Ready?
grumbled Twilight, facing from herself.
Just skip to the important stuff, please.
The white mare gave her another little sigh, a teardrop leaking past her eye. She hid her face behind her long purple hair.
I broke his heart.
No, you didn't break his heart. You ripped it out of his chest, threw it on the ground, stomped on it, spit on it, and then handed him back saying, "Here, have some," she whispered.
I tried my best to let him down gently. No, you didn't. I never wanted to hurt the poor thing. Yes, you did. But it just slipped out.
What slipped out?
That... Oh, God. Context? What's that?
Continue.
That if he was a stallion, I would have said yes.
Nerdy cried, falling to the ground in tears.
Hurry!
Gasped Twilight.
Why would you say something like that?
I told you it just slipped out. Drama queen.
Cried the distressed mare.
I didn't want to hurt him. He's so sweet and generous. Yeah, it kind of is. And it pained me to do this to him.
You could have been a little gentler than that.
Shouted Twilight.
There's no way to be gentle with this. Yes, there is.
Rarity bawled.
Do you think I enjoyed hurting Spike? Because I didn't.
She was in full-blown tears at this point. Twilight looked at her hooves with guilt. She had no idea that Rarity had taken it so rough. She really didn't care for Spike. She really did care for Spike, and she wanted to spare her feelings. However, there was still one thing that was not clear to her.
Why?
The white mare gave a little sniff as she tried to pull herself together.
Pardon me.
If you cared about him so much, why not say yes?
Hi, I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
This is getting too obvious!
Semantics!
Right.
Asked the lavender mare.
That's personal.
The white unicorn snapped.
A lady does not... A lady... A lady does not talk about things like that. Actually, yes, they do. And I bet if you were sleeping around with every style... I mean, you would be talking about it to all your friends.
Continue!
He's like...
Is it?
Twilight asked hesitantly.
Is it really because he's a dragon?
The fashionista said nothing. She quickly turned around and slowly headed up the stairs.
Excuse me, Twilight, but I have a lot of work I need to do today, and I'm afraid I can't afford to be distracted. Liar. Please show yourself out.
She continued up the stairs, and if Twilight could have seen her, she would have seen the tears flowing down her face like a river. Twilight stood dumbstruck for a few moments, watching her friend head up the stairs and disappearing around the corner. She decided to leave and give her friend some space. She must have been dealing with so much right now.
Must not do it. She just needs a bit of time alone.
She said to herself.
I guess I'll just have to tell Spike this.
She sighed.
Rarity's right. There isn't going to be a gentle way to do this.
Okay, who's yelling? Oh, I got this.
Twilight! Twilight!
A strained and exhausted voice called out. From the town of Ponyville, Twilight's four other friends, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, Applejack, and Pinkie Pie, all were running towards her, their faces worried and exhausted.
Twilight, there you are! We've been looking all over for you! Hey girls, what's up?
Smiled as her friends walked up to her.
It's Spike, Twi!
Exhausted Rainbow.
Fluttershy saw him running into the Everfree Forest! Alone!
I tried to stop him,
Whispered Fluttershy, looking away in shame as if she did something wrong.
but I didn't want to go into the Everfree Forest alone. I'm sorry. The stair works on manticores. What is wrong with you?
Continue,
It ain't your fault, Sugar Cube.
comforted Applejack.
Y'all did nothing wrong.
Twilight rushed past her friends in a full gallop towards the forest.
Well, come on, girls! We have to go find him! But what about Rarity?
Asked Rainbow.
Are we going to get her as well?
Trust me, she has her own problems at the moment.
Meanwhile, back at the plot.
Or the castle. It's like,
What on earth is a castle doing out here in the middle of the Everfree?
Wondered Spike.
I could link this to Castle Dracula from Castlevania, and then it just appears wherever it wants. But I'm not going to do that. I don't know Castlevania lore that well enough to make a joke.
Beyond the gates that had offered Spike safe haven from the pack of vicious timberwolves lay an old, overgrown, mossy castle. Its walls were covered in vines and other overgrown creepers.
Shh!
Not that kind.
Mm-hmm.
The actual structure of the keep was still fairly intact, with only a few cracks in the walls and a couple of loose shingles. It looked abandoned, as if no pony had been here for years.
Because really, who wants to live in the Everfree Forest?
Wanting to get out of the cold, Spike slowly walked down the bumpy brick trail that led to the front entrance.
It's the front. Where? Sorry, I lost my
He
place.
noticed the creepy-looking gargoyles that kept staring at him, frozen in their stone, yet always watching him. It was creepy.
Why do statues always look like they're watching you?
The little dragon mumbled to himself as he approached the front door.
Hello?
Called Spike, knocking on the door again.
Is any pony here?
He put both claws on the heavy door and started to push. Slowly, the door creaked open enough for Spike to squeeze through. He didn't bother to close the door behind him. He was a little winded from pushing it open.
Heavy door.
The main castle entrance
Speak louder.
was dark. Only the pale blue light from the windows were illuminating the room. All around Spike were old pieces of tables and chairs that stood there for who knows how long, collecting dust. Scattered across the floors were an assortment of household items and knickknacks. A brass candlestick, an old wind-up clock, a couple of teacups, and an old metal tankard turned over hoof rest, among other things.
This place could use a good dusting.
Muttered the Drake to himself.
I bet no one has lived here for 100 years.
337. A voice laughed, causing Spike to nearly soil himself. But hey, who's counting?
Who said that?
He asked uneasily. Up here, by the stairs. He looked up the large metal staircase that led to the other rooms of the castle. Standing at the top of the first steps was a pony. His face was mostly hidden by a dirty brown hood he was wearing, but he could see his lavender muzzle and his crooked yellow teeth. Welcome, dragon, to my humble abode. The mysterious pony greeted, slowly descending the stairs. Sorry the castle is a little dirty, but I don't entertain much. Most things can't find this castle anymore,
Well, it is in the middle of the Everfree Forest.
mumbled Spike. Really? I haven't noticed, the figure said sarcastically. But where are my manners? I haven't offered you any some tea. The flash of red, a clay teapot appeared in front of him, along with 2 floating teacups, a sugar bowl, and a milk ladle. Milk and sugar,
Who are you?
said Spike. Me, the pony said, hopping down the last few steps. I think the real question is, who are you?
I'm Spike.
The dragon responded,
From Ponyville.
Well, Spike from Ponyville, the stranger said, removing his hood. You may call me Ding-a-ling.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
His face was a dark purple in contrast with his lighter muzzle and rotten teeth. His eyes were bizarre. His left eye was yellow with a red iris, while his right eye was blue with a white iris. And they were both rolling around his sockets like pins on wheels. But his most unusual character was his horn, or at least he thought it was his horn.
Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. What on earth is that?
Asked Spike, pointing to the limp thing on top of the pony's head. Oh, this? Ding-a-ling asked, pointing to his floppy member on his head. This is just why they call me Ding-a-ling. Do you want to touch it?
Hi, I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. I'm sorry, that one was way too obvious.
Sure, I guess.
Said the dragon, carefully reaching out and touching the cold tip.
I've never seen a pony with a bell and a spring on his head.
Guess I'm just one of a kind. Ding-a-ling laughed, flopping the bell around. But it has its perks.
Like what?
So what brings you here, little dragon? The strange pony asked, completely ignoring the dragon. I imagine that you didn't come here for the scenery,
I was actually running away from some wolves.
said Spike.
I came here by accident.
Really now? Pondered the spring-headed pony. Are you sure that it wasn't you all? Was that all you were running from? Perhaps you were not running but searching. He leaned close to the dragon. What were you looking for, my little dragon?
I was looking for my friend Zecora.
He admitted.
She lives out here in the Evergreen Forest.
And why would you, Spike of Ponyville, need to see Zecora of the Everfree? Asked the Lavender Stallion.
That's
He bit his tongue.
private.
Does it involve a cute mare? Spike gasped.
How did you know?
I didn't, giggled Ding-a-ling, until you told me. So that's why you need to visit this Zecora. Are you in love with her?
No,
Stammered the dragon.
it's not like that. It's this other mare.
And the pony looked innocently at the dragon. Come on, Spike, you can't trust a stranger. Who can you trust?
So many things wrong with that sentence, and so many jokes I could make.
Continue.
I guess.
He sighed.
Her name is Rarity, and she's the sweetest, prettiest, and most generous mare in the world.
Element of generosity.
Then what's the problem? Asked Ding-a-ling.
She won't date me because I'm a pony. That's why I was going to Zecora's, to see if she could make me a potion to turn me into a stallion.
The strange pony started to pout his lips. What a shame, dragon, and I hate to break it to you, but there's no potion that exists that will do that for you.
Oh,
Sighed the dragon.
well, it was worth a shot.
But I would turn you into one. Ding-a-ling said happily. Spike's heart almost stopped.
What did you say?
Ding-a-ling smiled as he cleared his throat and started to sing.
And now...
Oh, God. I said, why not? What the hey? With a poof, I'll make your day. Turn you into a stallion nice and strong. Because honestly, what could go wrong? I bet you're asking yourself why. How could I be such a guy to help a dragon that I've never met before?
Well, kind of, actually.
Stop right there. Hold the phone. Any doubts that I should know? Are you concerned of a price to pay, a bargain to make, a game to play? Because I promise you a pact not to breach our contract. So what do you say? What do you say? Will you let me make your day to send all your worries away? So tell me, Spike. The paper contract appeared in Ding-a-ling's hoof. So what do you say, dragon? Want to become a stallion?
Pleased to meet you.
Hope you guess my name. You can really do that?
Spike gasped excitedly.
Can you really make me into a stallion?
I don't know, cackled the pony. Can I? A mere poof. and poofed in front of the spike into his claw. He stared into his reflection. He stared wide-eyed in the mirror, for the reflection stared back, a purple-coated unicorn with a spiky green mane.
I'm a pony!
He ran his claw, no hoof, through his newly formed mane and coat. His hard and cold scales were replaced by a warm, soft coat and mane. His eyes no longer reptilian, but happily round pony eyes.
I'm a pony! This is great! I can't wait to show Rarity!
But suddenly the mirror flashed, and when Spike opened his eyes, he was back to being a dragon, a hideous, ugly, grotesque dragon.
No! Change me back! Please! I'll do anything!
Then sign this contract, smiled Ding-a-ling, levitating the paper and a quill towards Spike.
Doesn't need to be in blood. That's just a formality.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The little dragon glanced curiously at the contract. To whomever signs this document will be transformed into whatever heart desires, be it dragon, pony, or even moderately intelligent peacock. Whatever best form that their loved one desires, the customer shall be immediately transformed into that. Sign here. Spike really skimmed through the rest of it, not really reading. After those first few paragraphs, it seemed simple enough, and if signing a piece of paper was all it needed to become a stallion, then he would sign 1,000,000 contracts.
Spike.
So, do we have a deal?
Spike, you're far too young. But when negotiating with the devil, you always read the contracts thoroughly. And you negotiate.
Pondered the pony. Spike snatched up the quill from the air.
Heck yeah, we do!
He quickly scribbled his name down the document. The second he was finished his eye. The paper rolled up away. Ding-a-ling started to laugh. Falling on the floor in a hysterical fit.
What's so funny, Ding-a...
Pain struck through the dragon. Spike fell to the floor to all four as he felt a tingling in his claws. He raised one up, expecting his digits to shrink, wither away or fall off, but his hand became a hoof. But they didn't. Instead, they started to grow. Each finger shot out, doubling in length and thickness. His normally trimmed and petite claws grew into jagged, curved blades. He felt his arms stretch out like taffy, and his muscles expanding like balloons. An almost painful experience.
What's happening to me?
Yelled the dragon, his nose shooting out of his face, forming a long, narrow muzzle.
This wasn't part of the deal!
Oh, but it was, Spike, cackled Ding-a-ling. You should have read the contract.
I did read the contract!
Roared Spike, clamping his mouth shut over his oversized hands. His high, boyish voice morphed into a deep gravelly, like a wild animal or monster.
Wow, I got it right.
This wasn't in it!
Give it another read, then, said the pony. Handing the contract over to Spike, the dragon fumbling with the paper with his new hands, he got it open and started to read. Whoever signs this document will be transformed into whatever their heart desires, be it dragon, pony, or moderately intelligent peacock. Whatever the best form that their loved one desires, the signer shall be immediately transformed into that. However, the signer must first be able to find love as the opposite appearance that she desired to turn into. Be it troll, toad, or jabberwocky, the
Nice
signer
reference.
will live as that altered beast until the signer is able to find another one to love, and to have them love them back, despite their hellish appearance, in which case the signer will be reverted to a form the loved one so desires. If, however, the signer is unable to find one except him or her as he or she is within 14 months upon signing, then the contract will be terminated and the signer will not be transformed into the desired form or their original one, but must remain a beast for the rest of their days. Sign here. Spike.
And this is why you always read the contracts when
Read the
dealing.
fine print, damn it.
Yeah.
Where did these words come from?
Bellowed Spike as his body started to grow.
I didn't sign up for this!
I have signed proof that you did, laughed Ding-a-ling.
Spike? Is that you?
Both the dragon and the spring-headed pony turned around. Standing in the middle of the room were all of Spike's friends, minus Rarity. They were all gazing at the dragon, an expression of horror and amazement stricken on their faces. Violet took a few steps forward.
Spike? What happened?
Ding-a-ling smiled. The dragon wanted to become a pony, so I made a little deal with him. A little quid pro quo, if you will.
Spike, is this true?
Asked Twilight, looking at the dragon as his chest bulged out, his abdomen started to stretch.
Is this all because of what she said?
Even though the final transformations, Spike was able to shed a tear.
I'm sorry, Twilight.
He whispered, his voice still very loud. Don't feel bad, Spike, laughed the crazy pony. You have 420 days until this becomes permanent. That's plenty of time to break the spell.
Break what spell?
Asked Rainbow, scratching her head. This one! Laughed Ding-a-ling. The room started to become windy as the mares all screamed in fright as the turbulence picked them up. Rainbow tried her best to keep control, but soon a teacup smashed in her face and she vanished in a puff of smoke. As Applejack was doing her best to keep a grip on the ground, the cow pony got knocked in the head with a metal tankard, and she too vanished. Similar fates were bestowed on all the ponies. Twilight collided with an old clock, while Pinkie collided with a brass candlestick. And poor Fluttershy got smacked in the flank with a hoof rest. Each pony was hit with a household object before disappearing.
What did you do to my friends?
Raged Spike, grabbing the pony with his massive claws. His new freakish body was incredibly strong, even if it was ugly.
I swear to Celestia if you hurt them! Oh! Pinkie!
On the floor, the strangest thing happened. The candlestick had collided with Pinkie, got up and rubbed its head.
Wow, that was weird. I feel all waxy inside. Hey, does anybody smell something burning?
Luverus got up on all four legs.
That's Fluttershy, right?
Yep.
Oh, dear. I think we made a mess. Ah!
Screamed Pinkie.
I'm talking Rufus! It's my worst nightmare come true! Pancake, is that your sugar cube?
The tankard asked.
I must have been hit harder than I thought. Thought with that tanker cup. I could have sworn that candlestick sounded just like Pinkie Pie. Applejack?
The clock said.
I think that Pinkie Pie is the candlestick.
Oh, come on!
Complained a teacup that sounded a lot like Rainbow Dash.
How come I have to be the stupid teacup?
Because
5 enchanted items continued bickering amongst themselves while Spike stared dumbfounded at them.
What did you do to them?
Added them to the contract, said the crazy pony. They'll all stay that way until you complete the contract like a good little dragon, or be cursed forever if you fail. He started to walk towards one of the windows. Well, I'll be keeping in touch with you, dragon. I do wish you the best of luck with your contract, and you can stay in the castle since your residence in Ponyville has been terminated.
What do you mean?
Asked the large dragon. This contract, it's very special. All who sign it are erased from the minds of all who knew them.
So,
wait. Oh, this is Spike.
so, our friends, the princesses, Rarity,
Have no idea that you or those talking knickknacks ever existed, Ding-a-ling laughed. Keeps all this fair. We don't want you going and telling everyone that you used to be a cute little dragon after all. He gave one final cackle before disappearing. No smoke cloud, no fading into air, but just disappearing as if he didn't exist.
That's Satan for you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What he had done was all too real. Spike took a look in the mirror that had once shown him a pony. Now, all it showed was a monster with sharp fangs, a large snout, and dark eyes like a demon. A beast that was so hideously large, about 7 feet tall, with its only counters newly formed muscles. He was a fully grown dragon, the most terrifying creature in Equestria.
Wow, kicking ass with this guy with Sora from Kingdom Hearts, that would have been awesome!
Mm-hmm.
But hey, that level was still fun.
Yep.
Spike!
The clock that Twilight had turned into hopped next to him.
We heard everything. We're all really sorry this happened to you.
don't be.
Muttered the dragon.
It's my own fault. I should have known that this wouldn't work.
His name was Ding-a-ling for Celestia's sake.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Smiled the Twyclock.
We'll help you break the spell.
What's the point?
Sighed the dragon.
What do you mean? Don't you want to break the spell?
The only way I can do that is if somebody is able to love me, and me to love them back.
Moaned the drake, looking back at the mirror.
I've only ever loved one mare, and that mare will never love me back. I mean, look at me, Twilight.
He stared at his own hideous reflection.
Who could ever love a beast?
And thus concludes Chapter 2 of Beauty and Her Spike.
You're getting off to a really good start here.
Well,
Yep. Given the length of this story, we would normally add this sort of thing to our epic readings, but since this was part of the contest, we made it an exception.
yep.
But
We will continue reading it, though.
yeah,
This
we're
is-
definitely going to return to this one.
For those of you who don't know, my second favorite animated Disney film of all time is Beauty and the Beast. So I am very curious as to see how far you actually go with this.
His first favorite is Alice in Wonderland.
Of course, not the shitty Burton one, the good one from the 50s.
But yeah, whatever.
Anyway.
And this is me hoping that this story is not a complete rip-off of Beauty and the Beast. I hope it has some original elements. But hey, if it does turn out to be the exact same, who cares? But yeah, this was a good read. We will definitely come back to this.
Yep,
Thank you, Blazewings Thunder, for suggesting this to us.
yep,
Well, not suggesting, more like winning with your awesome drawing.
yep. Anyway, tune in next time, Metal Gen.
And good night!
Good night and good luck.